Hello and welcome to Sophie Eco. My name is Sophie and today we are going to be talking about apps that you can use to help you live your most eco-friendly life yet. So the first app I'm going to be talking about is the one that probably most of you will have heard of by now, but I'm talking about it anyway because I feel like there's a lot of people who probably still won't know about it, and that is Ecosia. Now Ecosia is a search engine much in the same way as Google is a search engine, and it works exactly the same way as Google. You type in whatever it is that you're searching for and then it comes up with a list of different results and you can click on whichever one you want to click on. But the big difference between Ecosia and other search engines is that with your searches, Ecosia plants trees. Now you might be wondering how on earth that happens, and basically how it is that they use ads. They use the money that they earn from ads to fund the planting of those trees. Imagine that you're using Google, and when you're using Google you will see certain searches come up that say ads next to them. Ecosia has exactly the same, and if you click on one of those searches then that company pays a little bit of money to Ecosia to say thank you for marketing our link, and Ecosia use that money to plant trees all across the world wherever they're needed. So it's a really simple thing to change. You can use it on your phone, tablet or your computer. Personally, I generally use it on my computer. I've got it set up as my main search engine, my go-to one, but there is also an app that you can download, and you download that on your phone, on your tablet. That makes it very easy to use. It does also come up with a little tracker in the corner which tells you how many searches you've done. A lot of people think that means that's how many trees you've planted, but it roughly equates that for about every 4 searches you do, you get 1 tree planted. I think that's right. Somebody might correct me on that, but I think it's 4 searches to 1 tree generally. But generally, the more often you click on ads, the more likely that Ecosia are going to have that money to fund the next tree planting. So the next app that I want to talk about is Karma. Now Karma is quite a lesser known app, but I think it's absolutely brilliant. Now I've talked about this topic many times before on my channel, but I really hate food waste, and I feel like it's an eco issue that is not dealt with enough because the amount of resources that it takes to create food, then just getting completely thrown away, it's just a ridiculous waste. So anything that can help to combat food waste, I am 100% in favour of. So what Karma does is they team up with cafes and restaurants, and whenever those cafes and restaurants have food that would otherwise get thrown away, they instead offer it on Karma for a reduced price. People using the app can then bring up a little map, or if they are following a particular cafe or restaurant, it will pop up with a little notification saying this place has now got certain meals available for you, and you can reserve it, you pay for it, you go pick it up. So it's great for the businesses because it means that they are still making a little bit of money on food that otherwise would have been thrown away, and of course it's great for the environment because the food's not being thrown out, and it's great for you because you're getting a meal out for a much cheaper price than you would be if you went and bought it on the day. So it's really just a winner all round. Now a lot of people have told me that Karma is quite similar to another app called Too Good To Go. I did download Too Good To Go and I was looking through it, but what I didn't like about it, and if there is a way to do this then please correct me, but it certainly seemed through using Too Good To Go that you can't choose what you want to purchase on Too Good To Go. Whereas Karma, it kind of comes up like a little menu. It says we've got this item, this item, this item available for you, and then you can pick whatever you want. With Too Good To Go, it's more a case of they say this particular venue has got food items available, and then when you get to that venue, they just give out whatever they want to give you. Now, for someone like myself, that's not a great idea because if you saw my last video, you know I'm trying to go vegan. At home I am eating vegan, but even when I'm out and about I am still a very strictly vegetarian. So if somebody comes up to me and gives me like a hamburguette, I'm gonna be like, no thank you, I don't want that, thank you. So yeah, I think for the time being I'll be sticking with Karma, but you know, if Too Good To Go adds any further features, then we can have a look at Too Good To Go again. So the next app that I'm going to talk about is a little bit of a newer app from what I can see. It's called Cogo, and Cogo looks at ethical shopping and ethical eating out. And so this is not just encompassing zero waste and eco-friendly values, it's also encompassing things such as veganism and vegetarianism. It's encompassing things such as sourcing their products ethically, paying people a living wage, making sure that there's no discrimination anywhere along the production line. So it's a much bigger set of values that it's looking at, but nonetheless it does definitely encompass the whole sustainably sourcing products, packaging it with low packaging. But what Cogo does is it looks at lots of different types of venues. So it has eating out venues, it has shops, it has like grocery stores, clothing stores, stores that you might need to purchase hardwares from, lots and lots of different things on there, and it will find what ones are near to you, and it will then come up with little logos saying this particular venue fits this value, this value, this value. So you might see a little token for veganism, a little token for low packaging. And it just helps you to find those shops when you know that you do need to buy a particular product. It helps you to know where you've got nearby you that you might be able to find that product from in a environmentally friendly and ethical way. Now, I noticed that Cogo doesn't have as wide a variety of shops on it at the moment as I would potentially like to see. Certainly there isn't anywhere close to where I live that I would find that I can really use. There are lots of places near to where I work that are absolutely great, and I'll be going to a lot of those places when I do need those things, but in terms of places nearby to where my flat, there's not really anywhere. But that's why it's so important to support these apps when they start up, because the more people that download them, the more companies want to get on board with that app and they want to advertise their services. So the more people use it, the better it's going to be for everyone. And I do think it's such a wonderful idea that you've just got this immediate like catalogue almost of places that you can go to that fit with your values, where you can find the items that you need. The next app that I'm going to talk about is Sweatcoin, and you might argue that Sweatcoin is not actually an eco app, but I would argue that it kind of is. So for those of you who've never heard of Sweatcoin, Sweatcoin is a pedometer app in a sense, in that it completely in that it tracks your walking throughout the day, but not just your walking, it specifically tracks your walking outdoors. Now what it will do, it will come up with your total steps for the day. So you can still use that to check that you're hitting your 10,000 steps a day. 10,000 steps is what is generally recommended for the average adult. But it also tracks how many of those steps are outdoors, and for those steps that are outdoors, you earn sweat coins. Now, once you've earned a certain amount of sweat coins, you can start using those to either purchase items or to get money off items. And some of those items are not particularly fitting with zero waste and eco-friendly ethics, which is why I say it's not, 100% an eco app. But a lot of those items are. For instance, I downloaded the app Detour from Sweatcoin, and I was able to purchase for free a walking tour of parts of Deptford. And obviously walking tours are completely eco-friendly, you're walking. But for me, I think the great thing about Sweatcoin is that it really incentivizes you to walk to places that you wouldn't necessarily walk to. So there are some times when I think, should I get the bus to this place or should I walk? And I feel like maybe I should get the bus because, the lazy. But then I kind of convince myself that no, it's better for me, it's better for the environment for me to walk that distance. There are certain times when I'm going to need to still get the bus. If I've got to carry a lot of things, then I probably won't be walking that distance, and inevitably when I'm running late for work, I will be getting the bus to make sure that I catch my train on time. But I think it's still a really, really good way to help give you more of a reason to walk places rather than taking public transport or driving. Now, I do absolutely know that walking places is not an option for everyone. So I grew up in a village in Norfolk, and the village that I grew up in, there was a grand total of 5 buses a day, and that was considered good. that was a good bus service for where I grew up. So basically, you kind of had to have a car or you couldn't get anywhere. So I totally know that for people living in parts of the country that are like that, this is not gonna help you in that sense. And anybody who has any mobility issues, it's probably not gonna help either. But it's still really good because even though I couldn't walk, you know, to the supermarket, I couldn't walk to, if I needed to go to the doctors, actually no, the doctors I probably could walk to because it was about a 40-minute walk. But it meant but even though I had all of these places that weren't necessarily within my walking distance, I still like to go on long walks. I still found it very refreshing and helped to improve like my mental health. So it's still a good idea for you to take, you know, a little walk each day if you're able to do so. So I'm still going to recommend it as one of my apps. And the final app that I want to talk to today is Olio. Olio, again, is quite a big one. A lot of you may have already heard of it, but Olio advertises itself as the food sharing app. Now, what that means is that if you've got any food that you don't want anymore, you can put it on Olio and anybody in your local area who does want that food can come and pick it up from you. And it's not just food, it advertises itself as a food sharing app, but it really annoys me because it also has an option for non-food. So any items that you've got that you don't want anymore, that you think maybe you couldn't sell these. I know a lot of my items I will try to sell on eBay or Spock or somewhere, but there are often items I've got where I'm like, somebody else might find this useful, but it's not something that like a lot of people would pay for, nor should they be paying for. So it helps you to, first of all, declutter your house. Second of all, make use of anything that you are not going to use. And third of all, stops things from going to landfill, because you can pretty much guarantee that anything that you don't want, there'll be somebody else that does want it. So that's the really, really great thing about Olio. And I would highly recommend as many of you signing up to Olio as possible, because again, the more people sign up to Olio, the more useful it is, because the more people there are in your local area who are also using Olio, also making use of the apps, and therefore you're more likely to find something that you want, or be able to find somebody who wants the things that you don't want. And that's it from me for today. I hope you found this really useful. I hope you're going to download some of these apps. Let me know in the comments below if you already have some of these apps, or if you can suggest any more apps for me, because I'm always down with learning about new apps for my phone, especially if they're related to eco living. Don't forget to subscribe if you want to see more of me, and I will see you next time.